Good morning, students. This lesson is of class 7th for the subject of history. Chapter 4, Turkish invasion of India, starting on page number 25 of your textbook, titled Past and Present 7, and is being submitted to you on 17th May 2021. This voice is of Mili Bhatnagar. In the previous chapter, we had studied about Islam and how it spread to West Asia, Northern Africa, and Eastern Europe. In this context, we will first study about Arabs with whom the Indians had trade relations. The Arabs had established trade settlements on the western coast of India. Gradually, they had the thought of conquering territories in India. The political situation in India was such that there were several kingdoms which were busy fighting among themselves for political supremacy. The Arabs invaded India in the 8th century when Muhammad bin Qasim, a general of Umayyad dynasty, conquered Sindh in 712 AD. The Arabs under Qasim fought fierce battles with the forces of Dahir, the ruler of Sindh, at Debel. The Arabs then conquered Multan and got so much of wealth from there that they named Multan as the city of gold. The Arabs were followed by Turks who invaded India with the aim of conquering new territories, plundering and looting, and the spread of Islam. The Turks who invaded India belonged to the ruling family of Ghazni. Mahmud of Ghazni succeeded his father, Sabuktigin. He wanted to make Ghazni the most powerful kingdom of the region. To attain this objective, he set his eyes on the wealthy kingdoms of northern India. In a span of 26 years, Mahmud led invasions against India 17 times. First, Mahmud defeated Jaipal, the king of Punjab, and captured Peshawar. He received large tributes from Jaipal. Jaipal burnt himself to death out of humiliation. Mahmud then defeated his son Anandpal. Mahmud later on led the raids against the rich temple towns of India. He defeated the rulers of Mathura and Kannauj. In 1026, Mahmud proceeded towards the famous Hindu temple of Somnath. After the fight, Mahmud entered the temple and took away wealth from there. His last expedition was against the Jats. Although an invader, Mahmud was an educated person and had great leadership quality. He patronized literature and art also. His court was adorned by a number of scholars like Al-Biruni, Utbi, Firdausi. Al-Biruni's Kitabul Hind was one of the finest work on astronomy, mathematics, philosophy, and geography. Mahmud established a university and a library at Ghazni. But despite his qualities, he was not able to establish a stable empire. Let us take a short break. You are requested to kindly pause your audio for 3 to 4 minutes. After listening carefully to the questions and write the answers in your notebook. Number 1. Name the general of Umayyad dynasty who invaded Sindh. Number 2. Name 2 temple towns raided by Mahmud of Ghazni. Number 3. Why did Mahmud invade India? Answers. Number 1. Muhammad bin Qasim. Number 2. Mathura, Somnath. Number 3. Mahmud wanted to make Ghazni the most powerful kingdom in the region. We will continue with our lecture and study about Muhammad Ghori. He made Ghur independent of Ghazni. Muhammad Ghori was a powerful ruler who wanted to extend the territories of his empire. Therefore, he set his eyes on India. He conquered Multan in 1175 AD, but in 1178 AD, he was defeated by Bhim II, the ruler of Gujarat. He annexed Sindh in 1182 AD and made Lahore a part of his empire in 1186. With the conquest of Punjab in 1190 AD, Muhammad Ghori was now prepared to defeat the Rajput kingdom of Delhi and Ajmer. The ruler of Delhi and Ajmer was Prithviraj Chauhan. In 1191, a fierce battle was fought between the armies of Muhammad Ghori and Prithviraj Chauhan on the fields of Tehran. The armies of Prithviraj Chauhan inflicted a terrible defeat on the forces of Muhammad Ghori, but Prithviraj made no attempts to drive him away from the Punjab. In 1192, the armies of Prithviraj Chauhan came face to face with that of Muhammad Ghori, but Prithviraj was defeated and his territories were annexed. Muhammad Ghori appointed Qutbuddin Aibak as the governor of Delhi and Ajmer and returned to Ghur. Later in 1194 AD, he came back and defeated Raja Jayachandra of Kannauj. Let us look into the causes of the success of Turks or Rajputs' failure. Number 1. India was divided into many small kingdoms that were in conflict with one another. They failed to unite themselves against a common enemy. Number 2. All the rulers had their separate small armies, which were commanded by feudal chiefs. Such an army lacked coordination and loyalty to the rulers. Number 3. India practically remained indifferent to the military and scientific advancement made in the neighboring countries. Number 4. The existence of caste system, untouchability, social divisions led to social degeneration. It prevented unity of the people in times of need. These Turkish invasions had an impact on India. It led to the establishment of Delhi Sultanate. The rulers realized that they could not remain dependent upon the feudal lords and now started maintaining their own armies. Quick quiz. Number 1, Muhammad bin Qasim. Number 2, Mahmud. Number 3, Firdausi. Number 4, Muhammad Ghori. Take the correct answer. Number 1, 712. Number 2, Mahmud of Ghazni. Number 3, Al-Biruni. Number 4, Prithviraj Chauhan. Number 5, Delhi. Write true or false. Number 1, true. Number 2, false. Number 3, false. Number 4, true. Number 5, true. Write new words in your notebook as a part of your home assignment. Next week, we will do the question and answers of this chapter. With this, we end this interactive session. Thank you.